you ready for product realization in the cloud? You should be, according to Carl Bass, CEO of Autodesk. Because we are going to see some radical changes coming up in this arena. And during the Autodesk Univercity in Las Vegas, Carl Bass claimed that we have entered the cloud era. But, he says, it's not cloud for cloud's sake. It's about changing the way people work. A pretty bold statement, can you?
Yeah, certainly. I think it's like any technology platform. We didn't run on PCs for the sake of running on PCs or run on workstations for the sake of it. It's really about helping people be more productive. And in that way, what we've seen is there are two great things about the cloud. One is the computing power, the kind of infinitely scalable computing power, so you can bring to bear as much computing power as you need. And then the second thing, it's a natural hub for collaboration. And there's almost no projects that anyone does these days that don't involve multiple people or multiple firms. And so what we're set up for is you have a great place to coordinate and collaborate.
And this is going to change the way people work, and it's going to change the business of companies and for Autodesk as well.
Yeah, it's certainly changing our business, and hopefully for our customers, it enables them to achieve the things they want. So for example, our customers in manufacturing, what they are putting a premium on these days is agility and innovation. Things like quality are taken for granted. You need high quality products. The trick is, how am I more agile? How do I get products to market faster? And why are my products more compelling? And so we're trying to streamline the workflows, give people more creative control, more power, and shorten the time where they go from idea to finished part.
360, the SIM solution and the Fusion solution, how do you think it makes you stand out compared to competitors?
I can't find any of our competitors doing anything similar. I mean, for better or worse, we've chosen our own path. And we've been very clear and very explicit about what we're doing. We've kind of laid out the trail for a long time, and we seem to be on it by ourselves. And time will tell whether that's the right path or not. Every day I get more convinced we're on the right path, and I think, others will have to wake up one day and kind of have their, oh, something moment.
Right. Traditional licenses on the way out. Rentals and cloud services on the way in. But what is it that Autodesk brings to the table? PLM TV's Felix Nelson knows more.
I certainly do, and it's actually pretty impressive how quickly Autodesk has brought an entire suite of cloud solutions to the market. These solutions all fall under the 360 umbrella and include things like AutoCAD 360, formerly known as AutoCAD WS, which brings basic drawing functionality to mobile and browsers. PLM 360 is, as the name implies, Autodesk's PLM and collaboration backbone in the cloud. There's also Autodesk 360, which is a cloud-native project management application. Sim 360 combines the core functionality of Autodesk simulation software with cloud services like the Infinite Computing Rendering Service. Autodesk's BIM offering in the cloud, Building Information Management, consists of two solutions: 360 Field for mobile-based collaboration at the construction site, and 360 Glue, which focuses on project management and coordination. We also have Fusion 360, which brings direct history-free 3D modeling to the cloud. And last but not least, there's CAM 360, which certainly has been making waves in the manufacturing press lately. Autodesk's first CAM solution in the cloud is actually based on software which was acquired from HSM Works, which funnily enough, originally is an integrated third-party solution for SolidWorks. But as I said earlier, it's pretty impressive how quickly Autodesk has not only integrated this solution with Inventor, but now also made it a cloud-native solution. Back to you, Verdi.
Thank you, Felix. And yes, CAM 360 really was the hot software news during the event. And Autodesk Brenda Disher even calls it revolutionary.
It is a revolution. So today, CAM is a very traditional, computer-aided manufacturing is a very traditional process. Most of the CAM tools today are very, 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 very high priced, and they have very difficult and lengthy to use interfaces, and there's a lot of work required to set up and interact with the CAD model. What we launched today is CAM 360, which is the first CAM solution for the cloud, fully integrated with Fusion 360. Fusion 360 is our online first ever CAD system in the cloud, which is a really nice design environment. It mixes industrial design and mechanical design in like a social Facebook environment. And the product is highly integrated. So as somebody that needs to produce toolpaths or produce any CNC for downstream for these types of machines that are here on the show floor, you can actually go in and within 30 seconds take the model and quickly produce toolpaths.
Okay, so cloud-native solution can have a dramatic effect on cost. But the question is rather, is it good enough to deal with the whole product life cycle? And we have Engineering.com's Scott Wordle with us. And Scott, you have been investigating this. The conclusions?
Yes, I have been investigating it. And the biggest conclusion is where first you have to define the box on where the life cycle is actually starting or stopping. If you're looking at purely conceptual design and be able to release to manufacture, that type of thing, yes, at this point, CAD in the cloud with Autodesk 360 string of products will actually work for most places. Now, if you include things like MES or ERP, then no, those things aren't there yet. You'd have to draw the line and you couldn't say it. But for the most places, small mom and pop shops or new places that just have to find a niche fill for product lifecycle offerings, I would say that Autodesk and their 360 line of products do work for the entire lifecycle.
So, with some exceptions, yes, the 360 solution works. But then there is this little obstacle, the customers. What do they think? Are they as enthusiastic to the cloud as Carl Bass? Watch this. In your business, you're changing the way people collaborate right now.
Yeah, we are. Collaboration in the construction industry fundamentally was flawed. It was very linear in nature. So we start with an idea, and then you would put a price to it, and then you would get approval from the owner, and then you would ask the architect to design to that, and then they would give their design to us, and we would price it, and then you would just keep that sequence going all the way until you ultimately have a design to begin construction on. So can't we all collaborate and work on a single entity simultaneously through the planning phase, and including pricing of that, detailing of that model, constructability, safety, quality, all the things that go into it. You should be able to do that in one location. And we have done that through basically integrating disparate technologies. So technologies like Microsoft SharePoint and Autodesk BIM 360 and Oracle ERP, which is our accounting and project management software, when you fully integrate that technology, magic things happen. It's very cool.
The cloud is there and it's going to play a significant role.
It really is. Cloud's the key to mobility. So if you're going to have mobile access to data, you have to leverage the cloud.
The whole technology is based on the cloud nowadays. But there are certain things that you have to be worried about, and you want to make sure that you protect your data. You want to make sure that your data is secure. And there's things in the cloud that I would want to use, but there are certain things that I would probably stay with what I have now.
You're working with Autodesk software. Do you have cloud solutions amongst those?
Not now. I use Product Design Suite, and we have the Vault Manufacturing, which has been very good to us, and we don't. Basically, our way of life as an engineer, it's the first software that we open and the last software that we close. So right now, I think the system between engineering is seamless. You kind of just want to stand and decide and wait until it's perfected and if it's applicable to what we do.
For us, Autodesk Fusion, Autodesk 360 has allowed us, one example is we're talking with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, and the examiner is trying to understand our patent. Got him on the computer and got him on 360 and had him look at the science that we rendered in Autodesk Inventor Studio, and he all of a sudden could see it, where you're trying to describe something that you can't touch or see over the phone. It's impossible. So that works very, very well. And we do that with collaboration. We do that with media. Right now we have one of our prototypes going to Sir Richard Branson on Necker, and we totally expect to have his input. So whenever he's ready, we can actually get on the cloud and look at this together and get his input.
Right, mainly positive reactions there. But the adoption of those new tools is just the beginning of a journey, which is going to demand new ways of working, of organizing the businesses, even new ways of thinking. And Jeff Kowalski, you're talking about the power of breaking boundaries.
Yeah, it's interesting. It would be actually restrictive to say they think outside the box, because I think that's even passé. Sometimes I like to say instead that they're so far out they don't push the envelope, they pull it, right? So what hypothesis could we create that would lead us in a new direction? So there's a high degree of experimentation. And I think, frankly, for a lot of companies, the fact that the capital investment for experimentation has been lowered, right? The ability to rent software now, and in some cases even rent access to supercomputing power available in the cloud, right? To test ideas, to engage with customers in sort of light ways and get feedback early. A lot of things have been de-risked and made a lot more agile or flexible or exciting and energized. If you just truly open yourself, then I think that you find that outside is more invigorating and more exciting than remaining inside and enclosed.
So, new tools, the cloud, and new mindsets. But how well has Autodesk succeeded in their PLM journey? Listen to Gartner analyst Mark Halpern.
I have spoken anecdotally to a number of PLM 360 customers, and all in all, I think for a first generation new product, PLM 360 looks pretty good. Spoke to a company that produces braking systems for cars, and they had set up PLM 360 as their customer collaboration system as well as to collaborate with their suppliers. And it's worked very well.
What are the weak spots here?
Ability to have private cloud is not being supported at this time. Also, what's missing are robust sets of application programming interfaces so that companies can really integrate, say, homegrown applications or applications that Autodesk does not have prepackaged interfaces for. So for example, Autodesk has a prepackaged interface for NetSuite, an ERP offering in the cloud, which is very nice, but other tools, if you wanted to use PLM 360 to interface with those, you would have a problem.